When you put together ricotta, spinach and manicotti, this is what you get. A creamy, delicious pasta filled with the most amazing filling. If you want to know how I did it, just keep watching. I start by defrosting 16 ounces of frozen spinach. I add 4 cups of boiling water and then I will put the pan on the stove. On medium heat, I cook until the ice has melted, and with the spatula I break all the lumps. This process should take about 5 minutes. Then I turn the heat off and drain all the spinach. I leave the spinach in a colander. I put a plate on top and I squish down to remove all the excess of water. I squish down pretty hard. I really try to remove as more water as I can. Using a fork, I try to quickly cool down the spinach, considering that it's still hot. Now I'm going to use a technique that I always saw my mom or any other housewife in Italy do. I grab the spinach between my hands and I squeeze really hard. At the end, you'll see how much water will be left over. The spinach needs to be very dry because I don't want the water mess with the filling or the sauce. And here is all the excess of water that was inside. Of course, I am just going to throw it away. Spinach goes back in the pan and on the stove. I add the salt and pepper. And then I cook everything for 5 minutes. I push the spinach against the wall of the pan to make sure that no water comes out. This is how I know when the spinach is ready. I keep making the filling by adding 15 ounces of ricotta cheese into a bowl. I add 1 teaspoon of salt, an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, and an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then I add 1 cup plus 3/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. I mix all together, and then as a last step, I mix in even the spinach. I measure how many manicotti fits in the pan. It's about 16. I do use the 2 central ones, but then I will remove them later on. To fill the manicotti, I will use a piping bag without any tip. I fill the bag with the filling, then I set it aside and I will make the bechamel sauce. For the bechamel sauce, I add 4 ounces of butter into a saucepan and I let it melted. Then I add 4 ounces of all-purpose flour. I mix very well flour and butter together. Then I add 4 cups of whole milk. I add the first 2 so I can dissolve all the flour and the butter. And then after all the bottom is nice and smooth, I add the other 2. Even in this case, the bechamel sauce needs to be seasoned, so I add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. I turn the heat up on medium-high and I keep mixing until the sauce started to thicken. As soon as it starts thickening, I turn the heat off and I keep mixing. And then I move the pan on the side. I keep mixing and then I cover it with the lid. I fill all the manicotti, then I add an extra 1/2 teaspoon on the bechamel sauce because it was missing, and then I pour all the sauce on top of the manicotti and even on the sides. When everything is all drowning in the sauce, I had 4 cups of Parmesan cheese. And now at 375 for 35 minutes. And here is a super bubbly manicotti pan. I am going to let it sit for about 10 minutes before serving. And this is the result. I really hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.